played the wrong intro clip. How goes it, everybody? Ken Bozak here to talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin accessories. And today we're streaming with strangers. Well, no strangers at all. This is more of a fireside chat with my crypto Twitter bros, Crypto Euclid, and the Mystical Oaks. How goes it, bros?
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm enjoying the day, man. I'm enjoying the day. I actually woke up to some crazy crypto Twitter shit, man. I just saw like Craig Wright was talking to the CFTC, and I'm like, did they not realize 1 year ago today he was like sued for $5 billion? But that's whatever. Besides the point, today is going to be a great day. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, though, to my audience? They may not know about you and your amazing content. Let them know about how you kind of got into this space and what you're doing now in the industry with your content creation.
Oh, yeah. So, dude, I don't know what the fuck I do. How about that?
Energy drink.
I make stupid, funny videos and shit, and I've got a couple podcasts, and they're not even podcasts; they're live shows. I mean, podcasts are so lame.
My God.
I do live shows, and then I fucking turn those bitches into a podcast. How about that?
Yes.
I make podcasts my bitch. That's what I do.
Podcast, dude, just stir in the pot. Let's do it.
But yeah, I'm just a shit poster. My wife joins me. We just do funny, stupid shit and have fun. And we like crypto. We like Bitcoin. So we're here. We love the people. We love the community.
We love you, Ken.
Yes.
Oh, I love you guys.
We've hung out with you twice, and it's been a blast both times.
Dude, I miss you guys, man. If you want, let's talk a little bit about that, like Vegas, the HoshoCon and stuff, and how everything was. Like, I think, I don't know, man. It was like destiny meeting you guys, right? Like, as soon as we fucking met, it was like, we were inseparable. No jokes. Like, we spent the entire freaking conference together, whether we were wandering from hallway to hallway or party to party. We were always together. Like, we just clicked, man. So, like, what are your thoughts, though? That was like one of your first conferences, and you actually got to be a speaker at what happened to be, it was weird that, like, the only speaker that had more people in the attendance than us was Andreas Antonopoulos.
Yeah.
We had, like, the room packed. So, like, what was that like for you, man? You guys.
Yeah, you have no fucking idea. Like, I have anxiety issues. I know you have issues with that shit too. I've got like depression, anxiety. Whenever I have to do something, I fucking get like really worked up. Like, I get nervous. So I was nervous just going to fucking Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then it's like, oh, you're going to be on a panel. And I'm like, wait, what? Whoa, I don't fucking know about that shit. I just put all that shit aside, all my fears and stuff. And I was like, fuck it. I mean, I'm just going to get up there and be me. You know what I mean?
Well, we were sitting in a room at first because we were lost. Like, the whole time we were lost. Like, the whole HoshoCon, we were lost.
Well,
Somehow we ended up where we
needed to be. It's not their fault entirely. I mean, cannabis was totally recreationally legal in Vegas. That may
have That's what I mean. It wasn't nothing bad about HoshoCon at all. That was the funnest time I've ever had, in Vegas. And I was married in Vegas, so HoshoCon beat that.
Here's the thing, though.
I wasn't done with my story.
Oh, go ahead.
But if you feel the need to interrupt, as you always do, go for it.
Go ahead.
No, so we were in this room, and it had these nice comfy chairs, and there was like 2 people there. So I was like, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
I got this. I can do this. And then we were led to this other room with like 100 people.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you. The first room we walked into to be speakers, it was like 2 people. And I was like, oh, we got this. Let's just talk. You know what I mean? They were like, no, wrong room. Follow me.
Yeah, we go into this room, and it's fucking packed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my heart's beating. I'm like, this is crazy shit. Like, first of all, I don't deserve to be on a panel. Like, what the fuck do I know?
Dude,
I
know
really
you and us all know more than 80 to 90% of the people that were attending that event. That's why they attended the event, to learn from us, man, and not be shilled from an ICO fucking, expert, but true enthusiasts and end users like us, man. So you deserve to be on that panel more than most people that were on panels that day.
Well, I will say this about Tamara and I, we are doing something crypto related every fucking day. Like, we're not involved in crypto. And even if it's just entertaining people on crypto, Twitter, or whatever the fuck, we're doing something crypto related. But yeah, it was crazy, dude. And the fact that I like put my armor on Antonopoulos, like that blew my fucking mind. Like it was like, this is so weird to me how this whole thing has happened. Like I just remember seeing him on YouTube, and I'm a huge fanboy of Antonopoulos, but seeing him on YouTube and go, man, this guy's really got his shit together. He knows what's up, you know. And then here I am the next, you know, a few months later, like basically hugging the guy. So it was crazy, man.
Your foot went up.
It was funny because like we were the only people to meet him in that meet and greet as a group. Every single person that actually got in line as a group, they went individually. We were like, no, we're gonna meet him. He's gonna meet us. And like it was all of us. And you know, shout out to Junior Lancaster and Janiqua and everybody, man. That was such a great like experience right there. I've met Andreas. Prior to that, I was walking by and I ran into him in the elevator, and I was like in mid-peak, you know, and Andreas is like, hey, Ken, and I'm like, holy shit, he knows my name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's just cool. Well, he's a pretty cool dude. He's like down to earth, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, just a good dude. I'm glad we got him.
His speech when he was talking, because like, you know,
good.
Dude, it was like a rock show. I felt like, you know, like Kiss was on stage right now performing the last time, and I'm like,
So,
I know, I was just absorbing it. I was sitting there like, oh my God, he's so good. I didn't want it to end. I'm kicking myself. I'm such a fucking pussy because I was gonna go ask a question, you know what I mean? But I was like, I don't want to, but I swear I wish I would have got up and asked a question. But man, he just is a really good speaker, and he was talking about airplanes and shit, and I'm like, after that I was like, damn, I'm fine with flying again, you know what I mean? Like he just kind of puts things in like perspective where you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But
I think that my favorite question that was asked, I think, was what, Dogecoin Millionaire? I think he was the one who asked about, you know, custodial services and the $5 wrench method, and Andreas was like, great fucking question. Yeah, people suck, and at the end of the day, there's always going to be somebody at a custodial service that's going to be susceptible to human hacking. You know, you could hold their wife at gunpoint and say, go to your business and give me those private keys, and they probably will because you're using a custodial service. So the $5 wrench method is definitely something that needs to be solved, and crypto isn't going to solve that. It's up to you guys, the end user. Shout out to Full Time Geek for the 420 super chat. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Super.
Nice.
Thank you so much, man. I love these guys. Full Time Geek over there at Steam It. Yo, what are your guys' thoughts on Steam It?
You know what, Ken? I'm figuring out all this shit as I go along. So I haven't fucked with Steam It too much.
I like it, but I haven't been immersed in it at that much.
I could totally help you guys out. I mean, there's apps now for your smartphone that you can use to interact with Steam, just like you do for Facebook and Twitter.
Okay, because when I was messing with it, it was like kind of like clunky a little bit, you know what I mean? So I kind of gave up on it, but I've got an account and I play with it every once in a while.
I totally know what you mean, man. It being in beta and Dan leaving and everything kind of broke my heart, but sticking around and seeing the projects build on top, like there's Somi official. I think you've actually met them at Vegas.
Yeah, totally.
And what was the other one? There's Partico, which is an app I use on my phone that, you know, sort of like Steam, but when you post on it, it goes directly to Steam It. And we're actually streaming live right now on Steam It via VIMM.tv. And all of this is like, you know, on the Steam blockchain. And there's even games that you can play now. I play somebody just got me involved with Drug Wars, so now
I know that game. Yeah, that's fun.
It's on Steam blockchain, so now I can sell drugs and steal drugs on the blockchain. I'm all for it, right? And then there's Steam Monsters, which is like Magic the Gathering. Have you guys ever played Magic?
I've never played it, but I would
love to though.
I was
stereotyping so hard. I would have looked at you guys and been like, "These are fucking Magic champs."
Oh, we would be, but we don't have people to play with us. Like, you know, what are we just going to do? Like together, just, you know, Yuki and I, you know, so
like you
I'm
mean
down
physically go down to the place.
the game store.
Yeah, you know,
that's
like
what I did the other day. Look, I went shopping, dudes, and I went and bought some of the rarest Magic cards that exist. Besides the beta edition, these are the Ultimate Master packs, and this one card. There's only one card in this. It was over $100 for this one card.
Do you even know what card is in it? It's like a random card that you'll never see.
This could be like one of those basic trainer Pokemon cards for all I fucking know.
That's hilarious.
But I actually wanted to play something that was offline and had nothing to do with crypto at all whatsoever, had nothing to do with the internet. So this is my tap out. When I tap out of the internet, I'm playing with my monster cards and I'm building decks and I'm battling my friends and stuff, like try to get out of this space and just kind of, you know, zen out. Like, I'm just curious, what do you guys do when you're, you know, trying to get out of this space and kind of zen out? I know you're out in the fucking woods looking for Sasquatch and shit, man. How's that been going?
Well, so my exercise used to be like water sports. I've always like I windsurfed and I spent a lot of time in the water, and we moved up to the mountains. So okay, so I also rollerblade. I'm a big dork and I rollerblade.
Fruit booter.
Yes, exactly. But I make it look cool. Like, I'm gonna video myself because I want to show people.
He actually does. Like, I've never seen anyone rollerblade.
Yeah, I don't look like one of those douchebags. I look fly as fuck.
I on the other hand look horrible, so I don't do it. But when I was younger, I used to hold on to his belt loops. Yeah, that's it. Belt loops, and he would tow me.
So. But this is like this is my thing. This is what I do all fucking day long. And I need to get out and get more exercise and shit. But
we go hiking sometimes and walk around, but I meditate and I don't know what he does. He twitters.
I also go hiking with my son. He's into like the hiking and stuff. We go camp hiking, like where we hike in with our backpacks and camp overnight.
What?
Do that shit. That's really fun.
Dude, that's hella cool. See, like, if I ever have a kid or whatever, I would definitely do shit like that. Because, like, when I was growing up, I didn't really, like, have a father figure like that. So, like, camping would have been one of the things I would have loved to have done. But because I didn't grow up that way, you would never catch me camping. Ever. Yeah. But as a kid, I was like, yo, let's go camp. I want to, and I never did. So now as an adult, I'm not going to pretend to be homeless after I work so fucking hard to pay rent. What kind of white privilege shit is that? Like, who wants to go pretend to be homeless and have fun doing it?
That's hilarious.
No, listen, dude, there's something about making a fire and like watching the fire die down, and it's just like the embers are left. You know what I mean? And like, it's beautiful, and the stars are out, you know, hopefully, because it's not raining.
Hopefully it's not raining.
But the last time I went camping, there were two fucking owls, like one on this side and one on this side, over on like opposite sides, and they were fucking all night long, like ooh, ooh, and it was.
That's what owls sound like when they have sex.
Yeah. They were talking to each other or something, and then
having sex from opposite trees.
I didn't sleep.
I must not have got that zoo book growing up, because I did not know that's how owls sound.
They were like, I think they were kind of like killer owls or something, because their screech was very scary. It wasn't like a.
See, that's the thing that camping really. That's the takeaway from camping, is when you wake up and you did not die. You appreciate life, and you appreciate all that stuff that you have at your house, like the roof and the electricity. You know what I mean? Like, that's really camping to me would just be like one of those like near-death experiences. That's all I would take away from it. Was like, I almost fucking died. I swear there was bears. Like, Ken, you were in your backyard.
So listen though, this place that we went, it's I can't remember the name of it, but it's a mountain. So like, to get to the campsite, we had to hike and climb a fucking mountain, like, but it's like a windy trail. And I literally, like, halfway through, I told my son, I was like, we're gonna have to just fucking camp on the side of this mountain, because I cannot go any further. Like, I'm out of shape. And we had all our gear, like, I'm talking a lot of weight, you know, tents and food and all that shit. Yeah. And I don't know how the fuck I did it, but we made it up to the top of the campsite, like right as dark happened. It was getting dark already. And it was the best feeling. Like, I was like, oh shit. I mean, I couldn't even move. Like, I almost crawled.
Our son has the habit of doing that with us, because he took me to a place too. It was all these steps. We went down this gorge, and then my legs were already sore when I got to the bottom going down. And I was like, fuck, I have to climb up these stairs. There's like over 3,000 stairs. At the end, I'm like climbing.
Ken, what do you do for exercise though?
Me, I have a pull-up bar like right by my door jamb where I walk in and out of the room. I do a couple pull-ups here and there, but walk around. I don't own a vehicle anymore. Funny story is I actually left my car in the States when I was traveling abroad in 2018. Since I wasn't in the country, I figured, well, why would I pay for car insurance? I don't need that. But then I forgot that I said that, and my brother asked to borrow my car, and I was like, sure, the keys are, you know where the keys are. So he did, and he got pulled over, and he was arrested for driving without insurance. And he had it, yeah, dude, it was all my fault. So like I had a choice to either like help him out with the ticket or get my car out of the impound. And it was my fault. So I was just like, buy car, I don't need you. I was in Portugal at the time or something. So I was like, who needs a car in New Jersey? So I walk everywhere I go now. Actually, to get these cards, I walked over 1.5 miles just one way. So it was a 3-mile walk just to get some of these. Good. So like that stuff gets me out of the house every once in a while. And I go to meetups once a month in Philly. Like, so I'll get out and about, but I don't really hit the gym or exercise, man. I should, but
I need to, yeah. It's like, it's ridiculous. Like I'm just out of shape. And I really, like, I look at videos. I shot some videos. I was interviewing people trying to give away HODL fuel. And I watched the video, and my fucking fat belly is like, so like protruded. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, I got to get back in shape. I used to be in shape, you know, and I don't know,
it doesn't really start with exercise. Getting in shape really starts with diet. It's 80% diet, 20% exercise. You know, you could go to the gym for 8 hours and ruin all that progress with 3 bites of a fucking, you know, hot dog or something. It's really crazy.
Yeah. It's bad.
But I think there's an app I was using actually when I was really into fitness. Before I got into Bitcoin, I was 230 pounds. Then I dropped like massive. I was down to 150 pounds. I was down to like 7% body fat. I was doing pretty well. And then I found Bitcoin and totally stopped going to the gym to basically fall down the rabbit hole. I spent 10 hours a day like watching videos about day trading and learning about the Fibonacci charts and everything else. And I got on a Poloniex and everything and never went back to the gym. But when I was there's 2 apps that I used that were really cool and kind of motivated me. And one was, this was before Bitcoin. One was Charity Miles. If you put this app on your phone and you walk that mountain with your kid, you actually donate a nickel every mile to your charity of choice.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really cool, right? So like every couple, so you can see after a month you can donate a decent amount to a charity of your choice just by walking. And then Sweatcoin. Sweatcoin is a digital currency, not a cryptocurrency, but it is in their roadmap. And if you run their app while you're walking and running and stuff like that outdoors, it doesn't work indoors right now. But if you're outside walking around, you actually earn these tokens, and you can, you know, pay for Starbucks coffee with it. So I think there are companies that are going to be using these like bounty programs, being able to opt in to sell your user data of your fitness, right? Like basically every fitness tracker steals and sells anyway. So like imagine a cryptocurrency project that monetizes your health, and you opt in or out of the data that they can then sell to third parties. You can earn from that as well as earn from the utility token from the in-house network.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Now, if they could just figure out how to fucking pay me to be on Twitter, like, you know what I mean? If someone could,
there is a way you can. There's hearts you can buy right now. Because, if you go on Periscope, people, you can go on Periscope right now and you can pay to hit the like button on my Twitter live stream. On
Periscope, I'm talking about like just fucking tweets. You know, if I get like a really baller fucking tweet and makes people laugh, like I made a funny thing yesterday, I want people to pay me for that.
Oh my God.
Well, there's tip bots for that now, and I just saw what's the new one I just saw everybody talking about? It has like a taco on it.
Oh, that's hold on.
Everybody's talking about
it's something to do with Lightning Network.
Yes.
Tipping me or something like that.
Yep, somebody's going to correct me in the chat real soon before I even find it. But it's me.tip or something like that. And that's
I think it's tippin.me, bro.
Tippin.me. You're right.
Yeah.
DJ Me Popsicle, thank you. Yeah, dude, I saw that going around. So that's like another way that people are going to be able to do stuff like that. And you're right. Your supporters will be. I mean, like Full-Time Geek just sent me the 420 super chat. Like it's in the nature of the consumer of content to want to give back to those that are creating the content that they consume, as long as it's easy and convenient. And crypto is making it easier and more convenient than ever. And the easier and more convenient, the more people that actually engage and do donate. I mean, look at what Patreon, GoFundMe, and Kickstarter have done, you know, with centralized, you know, borders of entry. Now this is censorless. Nobody can say you can't have a GoFundMe because you're crypto, or you can't have a Patreon account because you have a podcast about Bitcoin, which will happen, and eventually Andreas Antonopoulos will realize that that is probably one of the biggest anti-crypto things he supports, which kind of breaks my heart.
Wait, what did you just say? You can't have a crypto? Because I'm using Patreon.
Yeah, but we should not be supporting Patreon like we should not be supporting banks. I know that it only hurts us not to use our enemy's soapbox as our own as best as possible. Like, I'm here on YouTube right now talking about censorship resistance. Like, I get it. It's an oxymoron. I'm totally... But to be somebody in a position like Andreas and to have a Patreon account and then preach how cryptocurrencies are used for this, that, and the other, and not have an actual use case like, hey, here's my bitbacker.io address. Here's why I don't use Patreon, because Patreon takes this, that, the other. They could cancel me any day. Stuff like that. Like, it's just...
Well, it's just
kind
like
of hypocritical.
Though. Like, so here's the thing.
So Bitbacker would be the Patreon
alternative? Bitbacker is the Patreon alternative.
Okay.
Here's my contention, Ken. The problem that we have is just like when these other platforms are trying to start like a new Twitter. Okay, it's great. It's like a great idea. It's censorship free. It's all that. But here's the thing: everybody uses Twitter now. Everybody knows about Patreon. We know it. It fucking works. It's established. Just like PayPal was the thing. Like, I used to use PayPal. Now PayPal froze my shit one time and kept my money for like 6 months. Well, there was no option. This was years and years and years ago, but there was no other option to easily accept web payments. Yeah. Unfortunately, the way it's set up right now, and the reason I chose Patreon for our support thing or whatever, is because it's just an established thing. It's like not everyone.
You did it because Antonopoulos was doing it.
Okay, fine. I did it because Antonopoulos. Well, there you go. He's like.
So Ken has a point.
I see what Ken's saying. I appreciate.
Now there's an alternative. Now there is an option. And what I would say is, to a rebuttal to what you just said, is, why would you wait for them to screw you over when you can just decide to not contribute to that ecosystem and opt out before they choose to banish you anyway? You know, like, why use Patreon when we have Bitbacker? Like, why use PayPal when we know we have any other wallet that uses crypto, period? It's just...
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I was probably on my laptop halfway not paying attention to what I was doing when I even set up the Patreon, and it just sort of like happened. Does that make sense?
It just happened to pop on
like,
there.
No,
so
it's
first,
just like
you're gonna blame Antonopoulos, and then second, just pure laziness.
No, yes, yeah, I blame laziness for most of my shit, but I'm not trying to backpedal and go, oh, I didn't. I chose Patreon because that's the one I wanted to go with. But honestly, it's just like here's my point.
Okay.
My point is, it was just fucking easy to do. I just set the shit up. It's done. Boom. Everyone knows about Patreon. Bitbacker, who the fuck is that? What is that?
Same thing. Patreon was in a position a few years earlier. Who the fuck's Patreon? And when you set it up a Patreon account, it's like, I ain't trying to give them my Visa information. Who the fuck's Patreon? You don't have to worry about any of those concerns with a company that's starting up in this industry. Now, I don't have to worry about Bitbacker with my Visa information. Ain't even that problem. You know, a lot of these things that I think we're going to hold people back from like the traditional charity side won't hold people back in this instance. I don't want people to know I'm, you know, donating to WikiLeaks. That's through PayPal. Yeah. PayPal's KYC. So I want to keep contributing to WikiLeaks. I'm going to find an alternative. Or if I want a Patreon account and Patreon won't let me because I'm a cannabis user and I'm asking for help getting my child medicine for their you know, condition, and cannabis is the cure, and Patreon says that's against their terms and services, so all the money you raise is now ill and void. You know, that's the kind of shit that I worry about. And like the thing that you said is, it is easier. But like, how do we get the mainstream on-ramped into this economy, into this industry, into this ecosystem, while still using the things of the legacy system while preaching the future? I think, you know, just like, I'm not saying like all of us, I'm just saying like, especially people like Andreas, who is so prominent in this space, I feel like he should try a little bit harder to live ahead of his time. Not saying like I do, but like, holy shit, bro, like, do you even hold Bitcoin?
Well,
okay. Well, see, wait. So some of the problem is it's just the answer is time. Like, because like you said, who knew Patreon back then, and now people know Patreon, but so if a new project starts and you invest time into it and then it just disappears, then you're fucked.
Here's the thing.
So it's like sometimes you just kind of go, wait, has this been around?
Yes. So
go ahead.
So I need to interrupt you because this is extremely important.
You usually do.
I want to add on to the point that you're making, my lovely wife. It's this: that what the fuck if you put all your eggs into, the Bitbacker, and that shit's poof gone because it's just some internet nerds that got together in their garage, and I don't know who they are, and this isn't like a
that's not always a bad thing. Yeah.
No, but you see what I'm saying? What if they are poof gone, and you're like, well, shit, you hear what I'm saying?
Like, oh, no, I do 100%. But what do you think about putting all your eggs in one basket as far as your platform goes, soapbox even for Twitter? A lot of us in the space have had their Twitter accounts shadow banned, blocked, or even deleted recently. My last guest, Bagsy, had his Twitter account completely vanished. His history, Bagsy's gone. I am Bagsy account is deleted from the history of Twitter. So that is what I'm saying a little bit, to counter that is putting all your eggs in one basket as far as, using one platform like Patreon or Bitbacker. Even Twitter can do this. They don't have to necessarily exit, but they could change their terms and services and completely erase you from their platform, sweeping your soapbox out from under your feet. That's why I'm trying to stream live on 7 platforms, because I don't trust YouTube anymore. I don't trust Facebook, and I don't trust Twitter. That's why I'm on BitTube, DLive, and Steam It, just as a hedge to decentralize my content.
I agree with that 100%. I think that's a good idea.
Put your eggs in one basket.
It's like a shotgun approach. The problem that I have is my fucking little pea brain can only manage like so much shit. And I'm learning as I fucking go. Okay, right now I've figured out how to fucking broadcast on Periscope. Then I upload my shit to YouTube, and then I turn it into a fucking podcast. Once the shit gets to where like I could figure out how to fucking do all that, then I'm going to do it. But I'm just I'm learning, but I hear what you're saying. With Twitter, I don't know how, and I'm knock on wood, I've never been shadow banned. I haven't had any issues. I tend to I tweet some ridiculous shit. I cuss like a sailor, and I kind of like am anti-established religion, but I don't get into politics much, and I don't like really go after people. I don't troll people hard like that. But we are completely dependent right now on Twitter, and I guess Jack, you know what I mean? Like, what happens if and why are so many crypto accounts are we being targeted, or is it just, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is that about? Like, I've noticed lately it's been more like the trolls and stuff have been getting hit, with suspension and stuff. But like, what did Bagsy do?
It was crazy. On the podcast, he was telling me about this. There was a tweet that a Twitter account had pinned to their Twitter, basically giving crypto away and step-by-step guide how to enter the campaign. And basically the Twitter campaign for crypto giveaway was to report an account and get them banned. And Bagsy was like, tweeted and said, well, that's fucked up, and basically they went towards him and did the same. So now both of the accounts that were being attacked are now actually gone, because there's an army of people that were incentivized with crypto incentives to do this, which is like one of those bad actor things, right? Like, it's like, oh, crypto is evil because it can incentivize these bad actor campaigns. And I'm like, yeah, but it can also help fund houses being built in, North Korea. Nobody can stop that either.
Well, nothing's 100% good and 100% evil, so there's gonna be
bad shit everywhere. And that's the thing, man. I'm figuring this shit as I go along. It's like there's always gonna be shit. You just deal with it. It's just like life, man. Like, it's like it ain't always gonna be wedding cake, right, hun?
Yeah.
Do you still have your wedding cake?
How is it being married to me, Tamara? Let's tell the people.
Oh, you don't want me to.
Oh, but now I do. But now we do.
What is it like being married to someone that has such like bipolar issues and such
hard as
like
hell.
Anxiety and depression And is it good? Is it fun? Or
it's fun and it's hell. So, it's up and down depending on your mood.
People are like, oh, she's probably so lucky. He's so funny. They don't know what the fuck I'm like when the camera's off and when the mic's off. Yeah.
And if you weren't good in bed, I would have dropped you years ago.
So. Oh shit.
Well, it sounds like you guys should probably start streaming on Spank Chain and start raking in the crypto.
I don't know, bro.
You don't have to do anything though. Here's like the beauty of Spank Chain. I can do this podcast exactly how it is on Spank Chain. It would just be accepted as a podcast on their platform, and people would tip. So you could do that. People may start to put incentives out there, like, "Hey, I'll give you 1,000 booty," but that would be totally up to you guys.
Okay, here's the thing: if we didn't have kids at home, it would be different. But we have kids at home. I can't. I just can't see it
now.
Yeah,
so
I don't think.
Are your kids into crypto? Do they do you have a crypto allowance or like chores that they do?
Okay, so
we don't give our kids allowance. Ken, come on now. We allow them to live.
Yeah, we feed them, and that's they're lucky. No, I forced my teenager son to buy Bitcoin. I'm like, dude, and I didn't force him, but I was like, come on, dude, this is for real. You need to do this. And he did. He bought some, and so that's about it. It's like when your dad is into something, you're not into it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the way it is. It's
I can totally dig that. Yeah, as soon as your parents start listening to the music you're into, it's fucking lame now.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh. It's the same though when your kids start listening to the same music. You know, you're like, oh, you like that?
I gotta stop drinking coffee.
I was talking to my nephew the other day. My younger brother has his son, and I was talking to him about it. And he hears me talk about Bitcoin and stuff. And I was like, do you know what Bitcoin is? Like, yeah, it's money. I was like, fuck yes. He's like 6 or 5 or 6. I'm like, all right, cool. Bitcoin, money, got it. I was like, so if you had Bitcoin, what could you do with it? He was like, I could buy stuff. And I was like, smart kid. If I gave you some Bitcoin, what would you buy? He's like, Pokemon cards. So I was like, I'm going to show you how to buy Pokemon cards with Bitcoin next time he comes over. So he already has his own little iPad. He just sent me a screenshot because he uses iMessenger. Kid's 6 years old. Fucking genius.
I know. Awesome. They're so smart.
And he's like, look, I downloaded a Bitcoin wallet. Obviously, it was like one of those scammy wallets from the App Store. But I was like, holy shit, he's actually looking into it, you know?
Prepared.
He's falling down the rabbit hole. So I was like, oh, man, I can't wait to see the crazy shit that shows up at my brother's front door from the stuff he's buying on Amazon. The kid totally has his own account now. He can buy whatever he wants, it's nobody can stop him. So let's see what it looks like. And I think that will really encourage, the youth to get more better with their money before it's too late. We don't get taught how to deal with money until we're in our teens. Rather than when we're younger. And that's because we don't really have the ease of security to use and manage money. You wouldn't trust your 7-year-old kid with $100 at all, ever. You would if you could have the private key backed up in your safe somewhere. Mm-hmm. And maybe a multi-sig. You could use a multi-sig. Nope, you can't buy that. I said no, I ain't signing off.
Yeah, he's searching for things that other people buy with Bitcoin. You're like, no. No, sir.
I mean, it sounds sketchy, but I think one of the most bought items on the internet with Bitcoin is bed sheets. So.
Oh, really?
Really?
That's weird.
I think that came from Overstock.com. Overstock put that out. It was like one of their most sold items, and it still boggles my mind to this day. I asked Dr. Patrick Bjorn, what his thoughts are, and he was like, I don't know. I was like, can't even elaborate. That's how weird of a thing that it is to be the most commonly sold item for Bitcoin on their site.
My mom just sent me a text, and she's like, I need to get, one of these Bitcoin accounts. I need you to help me with that because I got to buy something that I can only buy.
What are you buying exactly?
I think the thing I buy the most with my Bitcoin is other Bitcoin swag. Most of this I have ordered with Bitcoin through some means. My Bitcoin energy drink, you know what? I bought this with Bitcoin, and I don't know what's in it. You mind if I open it?
Yes, let's see it.
What
I
is
love opening stuff.
I do not know because I order crypto swag all the time. So.
Oh, Yuki
mouse
loves
pad.
this.
It's a mouse pad.
He loves opening things.
T-shirt.
Underwear.
Long john.
Let me peel this sticker off so I don't ruin the nice unveil.
Yeah.
Of this, and let's see what we bought.
Is it? What is it? Is it underwear? No.
What is it?
Oh, cool.
Oh, good.
Oh, it's long Bitcoin, short the bankers. I got this from Pump.
I like that.
Nice.
Pump, you were only supposed to make 100 of these t-shirts when I bought it, and you have over tripled the market supply of this shirt. I would like 2/3 of the money I spent on this t-shirt back.
Is that Pump's shirt?
That
I saw
is
him
Pump's shirt.
shirt.
He was shilling it when it was only 100 of them available, so I bought one, and then I didn't know it was like a scam ICO where the market was, reissuable. And then he does another fucking sale the next day for 250 shirts. So I'm like,
that's
good old
actually
Pump.
a good idea.
This is a physical shitcoin, Pump.
It's a shit shirt.
I think I should get into that. I think
this is why, you know what? If you do, I got my own swag right here. You know what? The next time I make swag, this shirt, the next time I make swag, I'm going to tokenize it. That way, you could check the public address and the private key on the tag to make sure that it is original. And then you could rip off, say this is the public address, you just rip off the private key, put it in a safe. Somebody steals your rare t-shirt, you have the private key to the public address on it. Who's going to buy a t-shirt without the private key that proves they own it? You know what I mean?
Good idea.
Yeah.
That's
Ken's
a good
got
idea.
Some genius ideas.
What do you do with all this knowledge?
Yeah, do you have notebooks
how
and
do
stuff?
you how do you navigate all this stuff? I know, listen, I know you probably have people that want a piece of you who are like, how do I get in the Ken Bosak business? Like, how do you deal with that shit? You got a lawyer?
No, I could go to my inbox right now and I got like any email I could click on. I guarantee you as it loads. Let's see. Business opportunity from Jarrett Dunn. Who's the best person to speak with you regarding sponsorships and content creation? Jarrett at Crowd Create. No fucking clue, bro. It's just me. You did it. You emailed me. Why are you asking me? Why are you asking me who else to email? You did it.
How do you? He emails you to ask you who he should email.
Yeah.
Already not replying.
Yeah. Who in your organization should I speak to,
sir? Under you should I now go to?
You're right, though. Like, I do. I get that shit all the time. And the truth is nobody. If I want to fucks with somebody, I reach out. You know, I don't really... I get turned off by people that approach me. It's like I'm like the cute girl at the bar, you know, in crypto. And as soon as you start hitting on me, bro, I'm turned off, you know, especially if you make me feel like a prostitute. Like, you're like, well, what if I give you some Bitcoin? I'm like, I just said no, and you think Bitcoin's gonna make me say yes. Like, I'm not a whore. I create.
Yes, you think I'm a whore.
It's the thing though. Like, we're trying to figure that shit out too. Is that we're in that weird phase right now where it's like, do you accept like anyone as like a sponsor if like you don't really believe in it? Because money is money. You know what I mean? We're trying to do this to like support ourselves and make a fucking living. But then again, like if Bitcoin Cash came to me, I'd be like, I don't fucking think so. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a fine line. There's a fine line between like things that you don't necessarily like or things that you don't necessarily believe in, right? Like there's projects that I may not like, but that's just because it may not appeal to me as the end user. I don't see a reason, but that shouldn't blind me from the potential of a business opportunity. But if there's something that I think is sketchy, scammy or whatever, then yeah, of course. But I mean, just the fact that you don't like I think Bitcoin Cash is a scam from the way they market themselves. So I would never work with them. But, you know, a lot of people would say Dash is a scam because of the pre-mine and everything associated with the master nodes and stuff like that. But, you know, I work with Dash. I submitted a DAO proposal. It got approved. You know, the Dash system works. And, you know, I used it and I believe in it. So it's just a lot of people will have, you know, the scales teeter in either direction. I wear my sponsors on my sleeve. Right down below on this live stream, you can see the companies I fucks with. We got Stroken Token, we got Morecoin, and for the record, Morecoin is one of those companies that I've had a love-hate relationship with. You know, like I went to Vegas to hang out with them. They showed me a good time. I had a shitty night, but you know, kind of half their fault, half my fault, and I let that be known. And then I found out that the strip club that they were sponsoring or whatever closed down, and I did a video that kind of went viral, got like 200,000 hits on Twitter of me showing people the strip club, and you know, but more still opening nightclubs and doing things and stuff like that, so they know that I'm an unbiased person that they could sponsor. I'm not going to sit here and just say Morecoin's the shit, they never fuck up. You know, I'm going to tell you for real, Morecoin's awesome. They work here, there, but they fucked me over there and they fucked up here. And
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you can't, if you like, yo, this person is sponsoring me, that don't mean that like I wholeheartedly fucking believe in every possible. They're just a fucking sponsor of the show. They're paying to help me produce this content. It's just like when you see shit on TV on the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, but they're incentivized to not ever speak negatively about their sponsors. When I'm in this space, I make sure everybody knows that if I ever have anything negative to say about you as a sponsor or not, it will be said. You know, I'm not going to sit here and directly bash anybody, but I mean, if I find out that you had the CEO fucking left or whatever, I'm going to say I'm going to report the negative as well as the positive. And that's the difference. That's where we need like the independent, unbiased journalism that I believe like things like Crypto Twitter really provide. Although it's hard to find what's unbiased and what is an opinionated comment.
Isn't it all somewhat biased? I mean, it's all your perspective. So, well, I mean, you could think a certain way one year and then the next year, you know, after things happen, go, oh shit, like I didn't even know what I was talking about. Like, because I thought a certain way, you know, it's really hard.
Let me segue and plug our show CTMZ. That's what we try to do on that. We try to be like unbiased and shit and just report on the shit that's going down. And if like I make a mistake, I'll go on there and apologize, or I'll say like, I'll correct myself and say, yo, in this instance, like I wasn't completely informed. That's what we're trying to do.
Like whoever is completely informed. I mean, you could work for a company and not be completely informed.
Yeah. Look what happened with Quadriga. Nobody knew what was going to happen when the CEO died until it was too late.
Shit, though.
Yeah, that's I'm suspicious
really
about that shit.
They actually just found they might have the private keys. Did you hear about that?
No, what happened?
Yeah, they said they found that they found evidence that leads them to believe that the private keys are in a safety deposit box at a bank. But the only person who has access is the deceased CEO. But because he worked with the company, there's a chance that some paperwork can be filed and moved to where they can get to this safety deposit box. It doesn't guarantee that the private key is there or that it's not also encrypted on top of being a private key with BIP 138 encryption. So at least, you know, they're trying. But then again, they just sent $400,000 to a fucking public address that they didn't have the private keys for. So they actually lost more Bitcoin from the original Bitcoin they lost.
Okay.
That's so weird. That whole story just has like so many holes in it to me.
Oh, but that's like you said, crypto spaces, you could work at a company and never know what's really going on. So to be in the journalistic media aspect of it, it's all up in the air. Nothing can be taken as expert opinion or expert advice. This is all, you know, still speculation. We are speculating on speculation.
Yeah, exactly. It's the whole do your own research, like have that tattooed on your head or something, because that everyone just needs to do that. I mean, if you're listening to someone, that doesn't mean that they know what they're talking about or that they're coming from a bad space either. They might completely believe in something and then it turns out that isn't, you know.
Listen, people want to be told what to do and how to think. That's just human nature. People are lazy and they're just like, tell me what to do, how to think, and who to vote for.
They want a scapegoat.
Yeah, they could just be like, well, you know, he said it was that way and that's what I went with, and so fuck put him in jail.
Have you ever promoted a scam or ever had like a project on or talked about anything that ended up being an exit or anything?
I think I've one time been, I did like a tweet thing and I got paid for that. That was my, like the only time.
Have you promoted anything?
One time, this is like early too. I wasn't even shit back then.
Are you shit now?
I'm the shit. But yeah, no, that's what I'm struggling with right now. Cause like there's, you know, some people who have DM'd me and like, hey, I would love to have like our CEO come on your show. And I'm like, first of all, I don't like to fucking just interview fucking Pete. Like I like to talk to my friends and just shoot the shit. But like there's a business part of it. So it's like, you know, I've got a Patreon so I can have like my fan support. We've got some supporters there. So that's awesome. But like, I think the real money is going to be like doing that kind of shit. And I don't really want to, unless it's someone that I fucking like or know is not shitty, or, you know what I mean? It's hard.
Even someone you like who you think is not shitty, I'm just saying next year it could turn out that they were shitty. I mean, you don't know. Like, you don't know. All you can do is do your own due diligence. And like Ken said, you know, not support something that's an obvious, you know, just bullshit, you know, and then just because people are going to call, like if someone's mad at you or angry or just salty and they find a target, they're just going to call you out. There'll be something for them to call you out about.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know. It's like, I think
it's a no win.
Then I start like thinking like, you know, I'm overthinking everything. Life's short. Fuck it. We could die tomorrow. Let's just fucking whatever. Have fun. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the dilemma I think we're all in, is our own personal moral ethics that are our own personal moral ethics without the, like, when you look in the mirror and you think ethically, it shouldn't reflect back with filters of other people's biased opinions of what ethics are or what your ethics should appear to be. You know, living ethically isn't something that you can really show. It's just something that you do that can be that just be noticed, right? And that's what a lot of the people in this space seem to be real opinionated on what is ethical, what isn't ethical, when that's a personal fucking opinion that has no blanket meaning. Your ethics, my ethics, their ethics, our ethics, all different. And we have to stay true to ourselves. You know, life is too short to try to live the higher standards of other people and not be true to ourselves. And that's where a lot of people fuck up in this space is, you know, they jump on the trains of the people they admire without having their own opinion first of anything. And they get caught up in the hype and the FOMO. It's rather ridiculous.
I notice a lot of like tribalism, I guess is the word, like on crypto Twitter, and people like kind of form into like groups and cliques, and there's usually like tends to be a leader or a couple of higher ups. And
listen, that's all fine too, but it's also fine to have your own opinion within that group, you know, and just go like, I know that I'm not going to agree with you. I don't even agree with you. I rarely agree with you.
That's the thing. Like,
and that's okay. Like you can have your own opinion. I mean,
we're on a show with 3 other people and we don't agree with those 3 people all the time. I mean, they go out there and have battles and shit with people. And I don't fucking, just because like we're on a show together and we're homies, I don't go on there and go like, yeah, fucking fuck you too. And I, you know, it's like, I'm my own fucking person. I'm my own thing. And I think that's what you do too, Ken. It's like, I think it's more of like being a and I hate to say it, but it's like a leader, you know, as opposed to just kind of like a follower who just sort of follows whatever the fuck the trend is.
Richard Hart made a tweet earlier the other day and said, who's your favorite thought leader? Who's the best or whatever? Somebody, I don't think it was actually Richard Hart. I think he actually commented on my comment. But anyway, somebody posted a tweet that was like, who's the best thought leader in the space? And I was like, well, I'm my own fucking thought leader. Like, nobody leads my fucking thoughts but me, bro. And at the moment that you know you give that away, that is a choice to give up your own, you know, lead position and where your thoughts are directed in your life. Then you're not living your own life, man. You're living somebody else's, and you're never gonna be happy. And you know, I like Andreas, I like Trace Mayer, I fucking love those guys. Jimmy Song, Tone Vase, they're all great, you know, people in the space. But I would never say that anybody should be a thought leader, anything like that. You should always be your own thought leader, 100%.
Well, I think it was Timothy Leary who said, well, I know he said this. He said, question authority. You know, think for yourself and question authority. That's important. That's always like. That's it. It's step 1. Think for yourself. Don't be a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Don't just follow the fucking whatever, you know, because some guy's up there yelling and screaming and shit and maybe has a bunch of people listening to him. That doesn't mean he knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Ooh, segue. Shill. Yeah. Each one of you, pick a project besides Bitcoin that you want to exist, that you're excited for, not as an investment vehicle, but as a project that you've seen in this space that you're just like, wow, if that existed, I would totally use the fuck out of that to make my life better.
Well, see, I had an answer and then I'm like, I don't know. Listen, I'm going to answer this, a project I'm excited about just because this is how I am. And this is where I go to this. I love PP. I love Pied Piper. So that's a project I'm excited about. There we go. That's it.
You like the
but
person.
I like the person.
You
and
don't
I like
know
the community.
anything about the fucking coin. You don't know anything about what he's doing. You just like the person. I know what he's
doing, and I like that he's doing it.
All right. So
Pied Piper, everybody. Check it out.
Yeah, he's a homie. We hung out with him too in real life three times now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, I've hung out with him many times. I've actually hung out with him several times before he created Pied Piper coin. So
yeah,
I know him from the way back in my crypto days. So much love to Pied Piper.
For me, dude, that's like a hard question for me because I guess I just like
fuck, dude. It's like, just like, let's figure out how to make Bitcoin like easier to use. And I don't mean like change it up and add a bunch of shit to it, whatever, but make it like maybe better. Like, okay, I'll say this. All right, let me tell you my problem I had. I tried to I used my ledger the other day.
Oh, gosh.
I tweeted about this, and it wanted to fucking update, and I did the update, and it fucking locked up. Like, it fucking hard bricked. It bricked on me. And I was like, holy fuck. So luckily it has a little app. I fixed the app. Well, the fucking app basically wiped out my ledger. And I'm like, well, fuck me. Now it's like, enter your fucking PIN number and let's set up the new device. I'm like, new device, motherfucker, you got my Bitcoin on your ass. You better not be a new device. And, but luckily, like, I'm not a moron. I have my fucking seed, my seed words.
Yeah.
And, but like, if I didn't have those, I would be fucked. And I know that like we have to be our own bank, and we have to be our own security guards, and we have to, know how to do all this shit. But man, it's still very easy to lose your Bitcoin, I think. And we need to figure out a way to make it to where it's, I don't know, just more, you don't have to be such a tech nerd to be able to use it and keep it safe. So I'd like to see a better, hardware wallet, maybe.
It's not possible. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
No, hardware wallets are a force. They're a farce.
Farce?
That's a farce.
Which one?
They're a farce. It's a lie. It's a ruse. Hardware wallets are security theatrics, like the gate in front of Pablo Escobar's mansion that couldn't be broken, but they had a fucking helicopter that dropped everybody off on the other side. So who cares about your fucking gate, Pablo? That's really what hardware wallets come down to be to me. Like, imagine the position you were in if your house were set on fire, but your hardware wallet was kept in a safety deposit box at the bank that you knew it was password protected. So even if somebody at the bank decided to be a dick, or somebody robbed the bank Ocean's 11 style for your hardware wallet out of the security box, it's encrypted. Your password. You're fine, right? So your house burns down. You lost your private keys. You go to the bank. Your safety deposit box is safe. Then your hardware wallet needs to update. You don't have your private keys anymore.
Exactly.
Well, if your hardware wallet doesn't update, all I'm going to have to do is kill you. Don't have to find your private keys. I'll hold your hardware wallet until there's an exploit for that software. I will choose not to update it, plug it into a computer, exploit the exploit, get your Bitcoin off the hardware wallet 5-10 years after I've, killed you. So like, there's some crazy fucking shit that we need to solve. And I don't think it's going to be done with, the operating systems that we have today. That's why I'm really excited for the blockchain OS devices that are going to mandatory make you have an internet connection for your device to even operate. So you have mandatory live biometrics that that you are holding the device.
But then you're connected to the internet, so you're open to being, you're open like that. So here's the other issue. Like, when I first got into Bitcoin, the first thing I did was like, okay, I bought some Bitcoin. It was on Circle. I moved it from Circle to like Coinbase or something like that. And I'm like, I learned, okay, if you don't own your private keys, you don't own shit. Right. So the first thing I did was I figured out how to print a paper wallet, and I printed the paper wallet and I moved my Bitcoin to it. And I'm like, holy fuck, what if I didn't do that right? You know what I mean? Like, what if there was a problem? So then I'm stressing the fuck out every night. I'm like, should I move the shit off of the paper wallet? And then it's like, well,
I know the feels.
So the first time I moved my Bitcoin off a paper wallet was so fucking scary. I was like, I'm typing in the fucking all the long ass private key because it's on paper.
Right.
And I moved it to like blockchain or some bullshit like online fucking thing. And then my point is this, okay? And now the ledger to me isn't great. Like, that was a problem that I just went through. What the fuck? Where do I keep my Bitcoin? Where do I keep it? What do I do? How do I keep it safe? How do I, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the answer?
Even that paper wallet isn't safe. I mean, unless you erase your printer's cache data, I could always hack your printer and print or grab the data from your printer. If you didn't use a computer that was a cold computer, that means it never touched the internet, then I could have hit you with malware to get your keystrokes, your screen capture. Really, the only thing that you could do is cold storage on an old Android device using a software wallet. I use Monarch, and that's one of my sponsors, straight up why. But like, I use Monarch on one one of my old Android devices that I'll never, ever, ever connect to the internet unless I need to. And I'll use a VPN. I'll use a hotspot from my phone so I know I'm connecting to my phone's internet when I'm giving this phone internet to send money from this one to this one. So cold to hot. And that phone never touches the internet otherwise. And I mean, other than that, there's not much we can do. Paper wallets are, like you said, scary. I mean, if you sweep it with the wrong wallet or you type in the wrong, I don't know, man. It could just,
you know what, Ken? I think the answer is like what you're talking about earlier with the marketing. I think it's that we put the shit on multiple areas, and you keep some on a ledger, you keep some on your. I use Coinami wallet on my phone. You maybe put a little bit on a paper wallet. You just kind of like maybe spread it out, not have it all in one fucking place.
Yeah, these things right here, cold storage coins, they're pretty cool. They're like an encrypted paper wallet kind of thing that they, cool. Yeah, it's really neat. So you could actually load this with some crypto, give it to a friend, and it'd be just like handing them a paper wallet. They would have the private key and the encryption codes that correspond to it and stuff. But then you're trusting the machines and the company that made that. When I talked to them at a conference, they said that the machines have gone through third-party audits to make sure that the memories are dumped after each creation, things like that. So you can't have like a backlog of all the private keys and stuff. So. But yeah, I had all different types of swag. I got debit cards left and right, like Ethereum cards that look like Visas that you scratch off the back. Yeah. But then I'm like, I don't know if that company has a private key backup.
Yeah, they have your key because it had to have been printed by someone.
Right.
So I don't.
Well, what are your thoughts on Coinbase letting people put their private keys on the cloud?
Oh, I didn't even know that they were doing that. That's crazy. So here's the thing too. Like, okay, when I printed my paper wallet, I'm trying to figure out the best way to secure all this shit. Like, one of the thoughts in your head is like, okay, I'll scan my fucking private key, and then I'll put, the paper, and then I'll put it like on the cloud somewhere. But that's fucking retarded, because then your shit's on the internet somewhere.
I told you to bury it in a mason jar in the yard.
Honestly,
yeah, that was way better than putting it in a Google Cloud where NSA has a copy. I mean, like, imagine how easy it would be for the NSA to write a script to search everything they have access for, specifically for the Bitcoin private key sequence. How many numbers, characters, space, or private seed phrases or QR codes. They could just hit one button, throw that algorithm in, and start sweeping every single key that they have access to.
I don't think
it gets better than how pirates did it.
You bury some fucking gold. But here's the thing, though. Like, I still like the paper wallet is scary as fuck, because I don't know. There's just so many areas that it could go wrong. But I think like there is no perfect solution. Just like you cannot keep something secure on this planet. There's just fucking no way. There will always be a weak point. And
are you saying nothing's unhackable?
Exactly. There's nothing.
Well,
nothing.
if you say it's unhackable, then someone's going to try to hack it. Like, that's all they're going to do.
You cannot keep. We don't have the technology to keep anything secure. Like,
Bitcoin's blockchain is unhackable.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know, because I'm not
throwing stuff out there.
You just like blew my mind. I could argue that you're wrong or right.
I know. Quantum computing's a bitch.
But there you go. So like when they start figuring out quantum computers and shit, like then they could. So maybe Bitcoin is eventually going to be like worthless, because they're going to when quantum computing happens, then they can figure out the fucking private keys and shit. I don't know all the technicalities of Bitcoin. I'm pretty dumb when it comes to the technical part. But my point is this: it's like it's up to us to safeguard our shit. But if someone wants our shit, they can get it. Bottom line. Yep. If someone has enough resources and they really fucking want to, and your ass is like, a little lazy or whatever, you don't have all the time in the world to focus on your fucking security, which most people don't, then your shit is vulnerable. But I think the best we can do is just try to follow like basic protocols and, not do dumb shit,
Well, yeah.
But I don't know.
I'm wondering, what are you guys doing right now in this market? I try to ask every guest towards the end of the shows what they're doing right now in the bear market, and try to keep themselves, occupied, safe financially. Is there anything that you have been doing, in this space? Are you doing any trading, hodling, or you by accumulating? What's this bear market kind of got you in? What position?
Well,
Hodling.
Yeah.
I'd love to be accumulating more, but yeah.
So I tell this every podcast would go on. She told me to sell at like 19,000, and I was like, no, it's going to keep going to 1 million. You know, I should have listened to her.
Then we could be accumulating more.
Yeah, because then we could have sold and then bought more Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Now I look at Bitcoin as a collectible thing. It's something that's cool, and I believe in it. So I just want to keep collecting it. I don't have a lot, and I wish I had more. I think to answer your question, like we're just holders, and we're trying to build right now. We're just building like our presence on here as like personalities and people that, you know, are fun to talk to or whatever.
Absolutely fun to talk to. I love you guys.
Are we trying to do that? Is that an accident?
Well, I guess let everybody know where to find your content, man. Like, you didn't even get to show yourselves too much. I think I interrupted your CTMZ plug, man. Let everybody know where to find you guys on the interweb. Yeah, so I got to keep track of all this shit. So we've got a live show, and actually we're going to do one tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, CTMZ Live, and that's CTMZ_live on Twitter. That's really fun. It's with Bitcoin Beggar, Voice of Crypto, which is Albie, and Sanity Crypto, and myself and my wife. And we, we sometimes have guests. Sometimes we just shoot the shit and talk about crypto gossip and stuff. Yeah. So that's the show you can find. CTMZ.io is the website. Tamara and I do a morning coffee show. It's a live show on Periscope, and it's euclidandoaks.com is our website. You can find all the links to all of our shit. We're on YouTube, Periscope, fucking iTunes, all that bullshit.
Yeah, he's spontaneous, so we don't have like a set time.
I don't fucking like to say like I'm going to do a show at this time every fucking day. I do it for CTMZ just because there's other people involved, but the morning thing is very spontaneous, and we do it just try to do it once or twice a week at least. And it's just, it could be in the morning, it might be in the fucking afternoon, whatever. You know. What kind of coffee are you just drinking on your morning coffee show? I ran out of HODL fuel. I need to order more. Oh, no.
I know.
Love those guys. But right now we're drinking cheap ass coffee from Aldi. This is my Satoshi blend.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I gotta buy a new coffee pot. Actually came back from vacation to a broken coffee pot. So
ours just broke too. What is going on? It's when your coffee pot broke.
You know what? It's planned obsolescence. That's what it is. Planned obsolescence from the mainstream corporations that put these little timers in their electronics to break.
Yeah, you're like, what? Yeah. What's going on?
But I want people to go to our YouTube channel because I'm trying to build up a YouTube presence. So just go to our webpage, euclidandoaks.com. You can find our YouTube link there. And I just want to thank we've got a few supporters on Patreon and Anchor. You can support us too, which is cool. I love Anchor. It's a really cool platform. And every time you listen to our podcast on Anchor, you hear like a commercial that I recorded. We get like 5 cents. So please go listen to that. Listen to our podcast on Anchor, and all the links and shit are on our webpage, euclidandoaks.com, and then also CTMZ, obviously, .io. So yeah, I'm proud of what we're doing with CTMZ. I'm proud of our little morning coffee show. It's fun. We're building. You know, we have a good time. I mean, I do this because I'm addicted to it. I used to be addicted to alcohol and this other shit. And I'm sober. I've got 18 months sobriety. Respect. And this is my new drug. This is what I do. I make shows and podcasts, and I talk, and I have fun, and I make dumb videos, and I believe in Bitcoin, and that's why I'm here. So I think the audience would love to know, why are you building a presence in crypto Twitter the way you are? What's like the end goal of a content creator like yourselves? Where do you see like your roadmap for 2019 as this moves forward with CTMZ and your podcasting or live streaming? I'm sorry, fuck podcasts. That's a good question. Here's what it is. I'm finding myself, Ken, and I'm finding myself through crypto Twitter. If that sounds so like lame, but it's true. Some people go to church, some people go to crypto Twitter. This is my religion. This is my church, and I don't know. It's a calling. It's a universal calling. Like, I'm supposed to be here doing this. I don't have an answer. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no clue where I'm headed. Maybe one day, like maybe in my fantasy is like I'm on TV somewhere. Tamara and we have a show on TV and we're talking. Maybe it's not even about cryptocurrency. I don't know. I like to make people laugh. I like to make myself laugh. And it keeps me sane, because when I'm not doing this, I slip into dark insanity. So
nice.
You know, I have to keep busy. I got to keep doing this shit, or else like I have idle my mind. When it's idle, it's not good. It goes to a dark place. So I have to do this, and this is what I'm doing to survive, to stay alive, I guess. There you go.
So he has no plan.
No plan.
A short answer, no plan.
No plan.
That's a plan, though. A plan of no plan is a plan. That is a plan.
Yeah.
Whether or not you want it to be, having no plan is a plan. I mean, just winging it is probably the best way to go about most things. You know, like I don't try to be a character. I don't try to have script. I don't have a question scripted out. I'm just me, you know. I hope it works every day. I do a live stream. I just hope me is enough, because that's all I bring to the table. That's
it too. Like, I don't like to fucking like my morning show. I tell people like, hey, when can I come on your show? I don't like to plan that shit because it makes me nervous. I want to just want to be spontaneous. Hey, you want to come on the show? DM me while I'm live, you know, and hop on, let's talk. But
I think the three of us are like energy people. So we just, you know, it just flows. It's kind of more of a flow thing. I like to have a goal. I like to have a plan. That's just how I like to do it. But I know that sometimes that plan does not. It's fine if that plan doesn't happen.
I see you as order and him as chaos, and order and chaos actually are how everything is built. Without ordered chaos, we wouldn't have, you know, built Rome, you know, and it wouldn't have fallen to built what we have now. So you guys are a perfect combination. I know this from hanging out with you, that you are a great yin yang, great yin.
Yeah, it's funny that I think Albie made that yin and yang logo for us, and it fits perfectly, because it's true. Like, I'm like, I could go with whichever way the wind blows sometimes. You know what I mean? I get distracted and shit so fucking easily, and she's like always trying to keep me on focus. And,
it's not easy though.
But I don't know, man. It just works, and I think whatever you do is like enjoy life. Like, don't be so fucking caught up with the details and shit and worried all the time. And that's something I struggle with, is like overthinking. I think it's because I'm a genius and my brain is just like, you know, is like so advanced that it just can't, you know. I wish sometimes I was dumb.
Savant.
You know what I mean? Like, I wish I was just like ignorantly, just like blissfully ignorant, but it's not. I overthink everything and I worry about so much shit.
Oh, dude, I envy stupid people to no point. Man. I'm just, when you sit there and you're walking in the mall and you just see somebody like daydreaming in the space.
Yes.
Like, I wish I could daydream like that.
Yes. Yeah, I have a hard time living in the present. Like, I can't.
You need to meditate more. You probably could. You just sit there. It's nice.
I tried to meditate once and I couldn't. It was the most uncomfortable experience of my 5 minutes on Earth, just trying not to do or think or say anything. I have way too much ADD.
You're overthinking meditating. I mean, you can actually just let thoughts come to you and just like notice them, and then kind of let them flow out too. But yeah, when I read that, it's like, clear your head of all thoughts. Great. Then I sit there and I do that. I'm like, I did that when I first started meditating. I'm like, clear my head of all thoughts. Clear my head of all thoughts. What does that mean? How do you do that? Like, sometimes it's just
that's why possible. Sometimes people like us need like ayahuasca or mushrooms or something. We need to be like fucking, like, our brains need to be like shooken, you know what I mean, and like forced to like see our demons and stuff. But that's a whole other subject.
Yeah, to wrap things up, I wanted to bring up your hat as a recap on searching for Sasquatch, man. How's the hunt going?
Listen,
what's the progress report, man? Were we getting any closer?
The thing about it is it's cold now up in the north part of in the Canada. So they're moving down. They're moving southward. So you're getting a lot of activity like in the mid, you know, part of the country. And then eventually they plan to, they make their way all the way down south in Florida, where they spend a couple months playing canasta and and complaining about the service.
Oh shit.
So
we're going to have to go to Florida, man, and catch them in their natural habitats.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to wrap things up and tell everybody, if they want to follow the stories and make sure that they're keeping up to date with the Sasquatch hunt, the morning coffee show, and CMTZ, to make sure that they follow you guys. The Twitter handles are in the title. So search Twitter Oaks, not Oats. It's with a K, everybody.
Yes, oak tree, like an oak tree.
All right, and if you enjoyed this podcast, please go ahead and pound that thumbs up button, click subscribe, flick the alert bell right next to subscribe. You'll get a notification every time I go and do a live video. I do a podcast every day like this, and dude, I appreciate you guys coming on the freaking show, man. I can't wait to see you anytime this year.
it kind of depends,
I'd
dude.
love to go to all of.
You know, I'm sure we'll be welcomed back with open arms. And Gabe and Hartej and everybody at Hosho, they're just great people, and I'm excited for their event. And Vegas is always a good damn time, man. It really is. So I'll see you guys back in Vegas.
Cool, man. Thanks for having us on.
Thanks for coming on. All right, guys, have a day.
Bye, everybody.